Data released over the European session. What's caught your attention this morning?
The first item was the UK public sector net borrowing requirement. Came in at 10.01 billion, so a slight typo there, versus the forecast of 10.05 billion, so less than expected. What that basically means is the government borrowed less money. Needed to borrow less money, which is the key. The prior figure had been 6.03 billion. This number does vary. What's key about this is that the reason it undershot the forecast is that revenue from income tax rose, which is a good sign for the economy as a whole, I would suggest, and for the government trying to balance its books. It's all marginal. Also slightly flattered, though, perhaps by a £284 million fine that was levied on Barclays, which knocked off a chunk of the borrowing. Anyway, the truth is we've had a month of the government, the new government now, and we need to see more about their spending plans, more about how they're going to cut both the deficit and the ultimate national debt. I think I'm right in saying that we've got a budget coming up in the next week or two from George Osborne, and that will perhaps, I think July the 8th might be the date, so perhaps a bit longer on that. But that might give a bit more colour as to how they're going to proceed. Anyway, it's another positive number and another reason for people to be bullish of cable. Okay, in
terms of Germany?
German PPI, producer price numbers, a measure of inflation at factory gates, if you like. And basically it came in flat, month-on-month figure for May, no change. The forecast was for a gain of 0.2%, and the year-on-year figure came in lower, minus 1.3% versus a forecast.
So it's still disinflationary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Worries there.
And no clear and hard and fast rule about inflation in the Eurozone at the moment. Then we just nip back to very early this morning with the Bank of Japan's Monetary Policy Committee statement. No change in terms of interest rates or QE policy there in Japan. There's no surprise to that. And Mr. Kuroda and his colleagues are very confident on inflation and the ongoing recovery. I have to say, I'm not of that mindset, and I still think there's a lot for Japan to prove to us, has to do before it can prove to us that it's turning round. So watch the data carefully. And then staying in Asia, Shanghai Composite Index, the broadest index in China, fell by 6.4% in a very nervy session, bringing it down to 13.3%
on the week. Wow,
as you pointed out, it's had massive gains over the last year, 18 months. Nonetheless, that's a big move lower.
Understood.